Hi, I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr. Coming up in just a moment, I'm going to give you my first flying impression on Yuneec's new Q500 4K quadcopter. So stay tuned to videosbyandy.com because it's coming up now. Well, I've been flying quadcopters for around 2 years. The models that I'm used to flying come from DJI's Phantom series. Well, this model from Yuneec is different. And the first thing you'll notice is that it's larger. So what we're going to do right now, I'm not going to waste a lot of your time with unboxing videos because you've seen those. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to put this together. I've already gone through the calibration. I've already gone through all the battery recharging. I've done all that at home. I'm just going to put the props up. We're going to do it just as the instruction book says, and we're going to take our first flight. Even when I took this thing out of the shipping container, one of the first things I noticed was that this gimbal clamp that goes on right here, this is the little piece of plastic that's designed to keep the gimbal from moving around while in transit and to protect the camera. It was off during shipment. The little yellow right here, the little yellow tape was already torn when I got it, and this thing was, as soon as I pulled it out of the box, it fell off. Now I thought I had it on secure when I brought it in here for my first flight, but I noticed it came off in the box too. So I'll just point that out, that is something that kind of bothers me just a little bit. Now, the other thing you'll notice, this thing is larger than a Phantom. I'll venture to say, and I haven't put them side by side yet, it's smaller than the Inspire series, but a little bit larger. But the other thing I noticed, these blades are large. I don't know, it's probably just a little bit over 12 inches long, a foot long or so. But I'm going to go and put these on now, and we're going to get her up in the air. Now, you'll notice while I'm doing this, there was no battery in here yet. I figure I'll get the props on first. I don't want anything to go off accidentally. Now, from watching numerous videos online and seeing some confusing instructions about the props, what I've noticed is that there's some videos out there that tell you that once you hand tighten them, to use the included tool to be able to tighten these down another revolution to 1.5 revolutions. However, on this new model, the Q500 4K, I'm noticing in the included instruction manual, yes, I actually did read it, it's saying to hand tighten only. It says that the tool is to be used for removal. So considering that this is newer than those videos are, and I understand that there has been a firmware update prior to this one going out the door, possibly it's good to maybe do something in between to make sure that they're just tightened well. Evidently the new firmware update is to keep one of the props flying off when you're landing and the engine suddenly stops. Let's hope that the props stay on. We're about to find out. I will tell you, these props are sharp. I hope I don't get in their way. Okay, let's go in and hand tighten this. Oops, wrong way. Remember, the props can only go in one direction. And there's two different sets of props. And you have them going in different rotations. Okay, I think that one's on pretty good, and we have one more to go. And let me do the hand tightening this way. And I'll just give it just a little snug fit. Props are ready to go, check. By the way, here's what I did. Since this is a new copter for me, I want to do everything by the book. I went on and printed off a quick start guide, so I'm making sure I don't miss a step. So let me just go through this. First thing, it says to check the battery door for any loose cables. Nope, don't see any. Remove the gimbal protector. Well, Yuneec, you did that one on your own. Okay, let's turn on the transmitter, and we need to wait for the musical tone. This is the transmitter here. We're going to power this on, and I'll hold it here so that you can hear it when we get a tone. Okay, we got a beep, but not a musical tone yet. I think we should, just as I was going to say, it's about time to play the theme from Jeopardy. we got a musical tone. So check. Okay, install the SD card into the camera. That was done at home. Let me just double check it here. I will tell you that the SD card on this, and I don't know if we can get a shot from it on this camera. Let's see if it'll focus in on that. I'm a one-man shooter over here, so I can't see everything, don't have a camera operator. It appears to be in. Now remember, when it goes in, it is in an angle, and it's going to go in the opposite orientation of what you think it would be. So just don't force it when you put it in. It does have a little spring-loaded mechanism in there. A little piece of styrofoam, and I guess that's a good time to point out this case. You know, this case it's a nice case. I don't know if I'd travel with it, but it's a nice case for when you're around town and going from one to another. But it is made as this cheap styrofoam. I've heard that there are some better inserts that can go in there. You might lose a little bit of storage capacity, but I can see that this thing is just not going to last long. You know, I'm going to wait to invest in cases to first see if I truly do like this copter, and if this is the type of bird that I'd want to travel with. Okay. Next on the list. Okay, we have the SD card, power on the copter. Well, first I better put the battery in. Now, the battery is a pretty good design. I mean, it's different from DJI. I think really, I like their batteries the best because they have the indicators on them. In fact, let me flip around to this side here. I know you probably can't see this, but if you look in here, let's see if you can. You know, you need to make sure the wires are out of the way. These are the wires on the right that you would use for a firmware update, and that's why they give you a pair of tweezers in there. But then you see the two polarity poles in there. So all you do, just come in. Here I'm looking at it, the poles are on this side. I'll put it in, or insert the battery. Okay. Never want to force a battery in something like this. Okay, it goes in. It's snug and it gives you that little confirmation push. The battery door, I'm gonna understand it's a little fragile, so just be gentle. It's kind of a push to click. Here, let's see if we can get that on camera for you. Okay, you just push it. Hear the click? Nice little confirmation there. Okay. So now we have the battery in. We now are going to power on the copter. Now note that I'm not going to be flying from this mode, but we're going to go through this just right now for the setup. The power is on a slide switch on the bottom here. So you have to kind of know where it is. And by the way, when you get a new copter or something, when you first get it out of the box, while you're charging batteries, it's a good idea with the props off and the camera off. Take a minute, get to know it, turn it upside down. You know, when you're doing your calibration, by the way, and I did mine from home, and I used my Apple iPhone to get a true north on this. It takes a couple times to kind of get the motion of it, but it can easily be done within the 30-second window. But do it without the props off. Do it when you're not in a rush. Don't do it when you're fighting a storm coming in. Take your time and do it right. Well, the power switch is right down here. You can feel it. I'm going to slide it to the side. You hear just a slight beep. Now, it's always a good idea, don't be in a rush, because this thing has got to get GPS satellites. I did check the GPS tracker, the GPS plan program before I came out. We're in pretty good shape for today. I will tell you right now, when you look at this with sunglasses, this is like a polarized lens. It's not that easy to see. However, and I think I have this over here, Yuneec did include a sunshade. Now, what this does, I'm going to pull it around where you can see this a little bit easier. What this does, a rectangular box, folds black. It's not what you'd call high quality plastic, but it appears to do the job. 2 suction cups. You just lay it over the screen, press down, voila. You don't have to go out and buy a third-party screen protector. However, and I want to tell you, this is one of the first things that I noticed about this when I was just putting it through the paces without the props in my backyard. You know, most of us who have flown before are used to having a monitor on the top of the controller. And just the way it's faced, it would keep your head up just a little bit. being down below, and also with this hard cover here being 4 sides versus a 3-sided cover, when you need to go to make screen adjustments, it's a little tricky. So what you might want to do is make your screen adjustments first, and right before you're ready to fly, to put this on. Now, I know there is one other thing I need to do, and that is my strap to put on to keep this secure. Now, I will tell you another thing. Put the strap on before you put the hood on here, because it's Yuneec, came up with a Yuneec strap. Has this hard piece. It looks like a little miniature coat hanger here. You just put this through here, and that's it. You know, I know the ones that I'm used to using, and the one that I'm probably going to go back to using, it had a clip as well as a secondary string mount, so it wasn't going to fall off. Everything looks good. The mode is in ready, a GPS ready. Just checking the altitude. It's showing us at 1.8 feet negative. No, I'm not. I'm in Florida, but I'm not underwater. Let's see what else we have here. Ground speeds between 0 and 0.1, so I think that's fairly accurate. Now, before I start and stop her up, we're going to move her over here. I don't want to do it from here, and I'm going to stand about, probably about 8 paces away. They say 20, 22 feet, whatever. I want to get 20 to 30 feet away from it. Because remember, this is the first flight. The nose will be pointed away. So stay tuned. This is still not fired up. We're going over here. Okay, I think we're set up properly. Everything is set up on the controller. The copter, the Q500 4K, has a purple light, meaning I am in angle mode. I don't know if you can see it, but here I'll switch to smart mode. It does change to a steady green. Now we're in a steady purple light. I'm going to walk back and get away from this thing before I fire up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I am further away than what it says to be in the smart circle or its geofence. So here we go. Here, let me try to find a spot here where you can see me and the bird both. Can you see the bird? Okay. Well, we're about to find out. Okay. We have everything taken care of. I am going to hit the start button. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're up. Now, what I'm going to do, you're going to hear me doing some countdowns, because this way when I press a lever, you can hear or see how long it takes for the copter to react in real time. Okay, just checking the motors. Everything looks good. By the way, this thing makes a lot of beeps, and I haven't found the section yet where somebody tells us what these beeps mean. And granted, when I fly, I like to keep line of sight, my eyes on the bird. I don't know if anything's flashing up. I do, of course, glance down. Okay, we're going for liftoff. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's full throttle. Okay, that is full throttle, and she is barely moving up there. I am in angle mode. Let's let her hover. Let's look at the lights here. Okay. I'm getting a blinking purple. I might have to go back and check the reference sheet. I thought that was supposed to be solid. No, I think blinking purple is okay, but let's come down and check that. So let's just bring her down. I now have her all the way down. I am in angle mode. And let me just bring her down gently. Again, another beep there. Notice a little ground effect here, but I'm going to bring her down, all the way down. Not too bad. She's flat. Throttle down and power off. Okay, let's go get that light card, or the lamp card. Well, I guess I was right here. The purple, the flashing purple, is stating that the aircraft is in angle mode without GPS lock. Now, I don't get that. I have in the upper right hand corner, I don't know if you can see this, 11 satellites, GPS is ready, and 15 satellites. Now, it's showing mode ready. I don't know why that would be flashing. Okay, let me point out, I am starting this off in turtle mode, meaning that everything's going to go a little bit slower. Possibly that's why I didn't get the altitude, but something just didn't seem right. But we're going to try that again. Okay, well, let me check the screen for everything. Everything appears to be good. We're on turtle, we're in angle mode, and lift off. Stick is all the way up. Oops, I have to turn her on first. Okay, I'm pressing the start-stop button in 3, 2, 1. Okay, she's fired up. Let's give her a moment. Possibly I didn't give her enough time with the motors running to get in the proper lock. But then again, I'm looking at the screen and it's not giving me any reason not to think. Let's go check the light and see what it's doing. From here, and I know you can't see from here, and I know I can't press the zoom in all the way, I am getting a flashing purple. Now, you know, let's go back. Let's check the GPS pilot program. And let's see what this is saying. Okay, right now I should be getting 9 satellites. I don't know if that'll focus in, but here, let's try this. Getting 9 satellites. Now, I will tell you, the magnetology things have been a little high lately. Let's just see where we are here on that. We're at a 4 right now, so it's not perfect, but it's not bad. Let's go check the light again. This is strange. This has been running for a few minutes. As you see, I'm not editing here. Everything's going in real time. I'm still getting a flashing purple. Let's double check that again. You know, it appears to be going just 3, not the 3 off and on, but it appears to be going the 3 steadies. Let's take another look at this. Okay, it's going on, off, on, off, on, off, on. Okay, tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to do the same thing as if this was a computer that was not behaving the way that you thought it would. We're going to do a restart. Hey, rather be safe than sorry. Here goes. Turning off in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the controller. Well, let me power this down first. Let's do it the right way. Okay, we have the power off, powering the controller down. Let me give it a moment for everything to turn on properly. I still have the little Android gear on this. Okay, power back on. I'll wait to get the musical tone before I power back up. I can see the Yuneec logo. I know you can't see it from here. You're like 30 feet away. Okay, let me tell you, zoom in, zoom out. Hey, we're wasting time. And we also heard the tone. You know, I'm going to give it an extra moment here. Let it come up to the screen. Well, it's at the RC connecting, video Wi-Fi connecting. Let me go and power this on. You know, the way they have the power button, you need to be careful. Don't get your hand too close to the blades. Okay, now we're just going to step back and wait. At this moment, I'll probably edit the video, and then we'll come back to it. I don't want to bore you to tears on this one. Okay, we're back recording again. Here's what I have on the screen. GPS mode ready. Mode is ready. We're in angle mode. Satellites at 15. The altitude has me about 0.3 feet below sea level. I don't look wet right now, so I guess that might be inaccurate. Speed's going between 0 and 0.1. The distance is 32 feet, so I'm far outside the safe circle, as I believe they like to call it. Okay, let's go up and take a look, see what we're getting in terms of status lights. Okay, now I'm still getting a very slow flashing purple. I wonder if that means I need to redo the calibration. You know, this might be a good time to do that. It says the aircraft is in angle mode without GPS lock. Well, you're about to see me do a calibration, so let's power everything down. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to remove the camera. And, you know, with the blades on, I didn't do it with the blades on the first time around. Okay, you have to come to the bottom. I'm going to be real careful, since I don't trust this bird yet, to make sure she's not going to fire up. I don't want my props in the way. Okay. Now, I will tell you, the little gimbal mount here is a little tricky. It's just, there's not a lot holding it on. It doesn't seem super secure, but here you just slide it out. I'm going to gently set the gimbal down here. Okay, let's pull out the phone and get true north. I'll put this down here until we get right at north, which is going to be right here. Okay, now there's a couple ways to calibrate this. And you know, I want to, let's go on and get everything on and ready to calibrate. So what I'm going to do, turn the receiver on. And what the two ways are, you can do a motion where you take the left stick to the left and toggle. It's somewhat similar to the DJI method until you hear it beep, and then you're ready to go into calibration mode. You know, really do not like doing this with the props on, but I guess there's gonna be a level of trust in knowing that this thing had a delay in getting started. Okay, that's on here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna do it without the props on. Be right back. Hey, safety first. Gonna turn this off, the controller off, the ST10 Plus, and let's go around and remove the blades. Boy, this video is taking a lot longer than what I thought. I truly thought we'd be up in the air, but you know, this thing, I'm gonna say it spooked me, but I'm from the school. If you're gonna do something, you do it right. I will say that I just had some minor questions, and I did contact Yuneec Tech Support. I was amazed. I got some pretty good answers. You know, when you start off, you get Liz on the phone who kind of takes your inquiry. She's only able to answer the basic questions. Then she forwards it on. I found that the good way to do it is once you get the email address of a tech support agent, use that, make your questions brief, concise, and to the point, and you'll typically get a timely answer back. You know, my experience, just a few hours. However, this is still a relatively new company. Let's see how they do when they get more copters in the air and see if they expand their tech support. I'm hoping they do. You know, because that's the one complaint people have about DJI, is that just the responses are not good. And if you live in the United States, or you know, in UK or whatever, they're coming from a different language. And it can be difficult to understand. Okay, here we go. We are back to the copter. We are facing magnetic north, which honestly, I don't know the difference between north and magnetic north. That's just what they told you to do. So that I don't sound like an idiot, I'm gonna say magnetic north. It is the north the iPhone told me was. Okay, we're gonna power this on here. Now, I said that there were two ways to do it. You can go to the left and toggle, or there is a settings menu. You know, it makes me wonder, let me go in the settings menu just to make sure that GPS is on. Possibly that was the problem. If that's the issue, then we can go back to flying. We'll chalk it up to user error. You know, you never know. I don't think that was a setting I adjusted. Okay, we're going to turn this on. Okay, not much of a click when you do that. And we're waiting. Edit. We have some beeps on this side. I have the camera off, so of course it's not going to connect here. But let's go in and get this up to where we have the settings menu. You know, and the light, it's really difficult to see. Here's the settings button. Okay, let me go in just to ensure, and I'm that the GPS is turned on. I have the warning, entering camera over the settings, telemetry will be paused, that's fine. Okay, I go to GPS. Ah, look at this. The GPS is off here. No wonder. Hey, so evidently these lights do work. We don't have to do another calibration at this point. Let's turn the GPS on. Okay? And we are going to go back home. We're going to shut down, put on the blades, and we're going in the air. Edit. Sorry, for a moment, I thought the camera, this one right here, was not running. I know that one is, but that's on time lapse. You know, it's like when you're flying, it's like carpentry. Measure twice and cut once. Oh, let me go and get the camera on. You know, before we get too far into the blades here. Let's see if I can do it this way. We'll take this, and remember, as I said before, I'll turn it this way so maybe you can see it on two different cameras here. This is very delicate, and I'm not sure what to make of it yet. Still getting to the point of learning how to use it. Okay, I heard the little snug. We're taking the clip with the tab, and it feels secure in there. Okay, the camera's in. You know, it always goes easier the second or third time you're doing something. The first time, not too bad. By the way, if I look hot, I'm in South Florida. It's like 90 degrees and the humidity is high. Good news is, it's not raining. Maybe I feel like it's raining, but it's not. Okay, make sure, just to, you know, whenever I play with the props, I want to make sure the power's off. Anyway, I hope I'm not a substitute for ambient and I'm not boring you to tears here, but I figure there's other first-timers out there who are like me and might not understand some of the other tutorials, and this is not meant to be a tutorial, but maybe they can learn something and see what I'm doing here, and maybe we'll learn this together, and hopefully you'll provide some good input. You know, I'll put this on Facebook, videosbyandy.com, you know, the multiple groups, and let's see what, let's see if we can learn this thing together. You know, again, the factory's being pretty good, but nothing like user groups to try to, you know, not only learn these things together, but, you know, it's our input. And remember, I came from 20 years of working for major manufacturers, as well as being, you know, the largest new products reporter in the free world, and I'm not making that up. But when people group together and provide factories input, they have two choices. They can either listen to the consumer to attempt to build a better product that works for the consumer, or they can ignore, or they can ignore us and do whatever in the heck they want. Let's see the type of company that Yuneec is. I know that they have some unique new products, you know, multi-rotors coming out that have captured my attention because, you know, this is being shot on a GH4 over here, and this camera over here is seen in time lapse. I don't know if you'll see it, that's once per second, so maybe you'll see a quick wave. I already have the GH4, so to get a copter that I trust to put this not inexpensive camera up would be a good thing. Okay, we're gonna go out and try to get flying again. The camera appears to be secure, all props are on, batteries inserted, let's go. We'll go back out here to the same distance. We already had this pretty much marked as being a safe distance away. Now I know this looks like sand. It's a very hard packed sand. If you've ever lived in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm concerned about sand blowing up and getting in there. This is not like going to the beach and getting that soft sand. This is like the type of sand that's hard packed that you would use when you were building a house. Controller is on. Let's see how long it takes. You have your stopwatches going. The Yuneec logo is now showing. We'll see how long it takes to get the initial beep. Well, we got the song. That was pretty quick here. Okay, now that we've heard that, I'm to understand that that song designates that you can now safely turn on the copter and let things start to work together. I'm going to get underneath these rotors. I don't trust this bird yet. Okay, we have a confirmation beep. Things are getting to go. Let's set all the GPS. And remember, when you're flying, don't be in a rush. It's not like we're doing news gathering, at least not today. So don't be in a rush. Get to know your copter, especially when it's new. You know, nobody wants to hear the F word, you know, fly away. So take your time, get to know your copter. Copters are like motorcycles. You know, when you get a new motorcycle, I always recommend you know, people taking the motorcycle safety foundation class, because it gives you a good way to learn to ride your motorcycle in a controlled environment. Copters are no different, except there's not an abundance of classes. So take your time, get to know the characteristics. Speaking of that, I'm going to put her on turtle mode. Okay, the mode is in ready, GPS ready. We have 10 satellites over here. We have 11 satellites up there. We have a full battery. We have probably 90% of a battery here because I've been talking too long. Okay, altitude, everything looks good. So, let's go on and start her up. Okay, I am in turtle mode. I'm in angle mode. Everything's ready. 19 satellites. I believe that's on the receiver. And in the sky, there's 11. So I think that's right. I need to go back and double check that. Either way, we got plenty of satellites. We are getting ready to lift off. When I count down, and again, what are these darn beeps? When I count down is when I'm going to give it full stick. Again, we're on turtle mode, angle. 3, 2, 1, full stick up. Notice, okay, now this is full stick here. Now let's look at these lights again. I still have that flashing purple, which makes no sense because she's hovering really well. Now it's not a windy day, but here, we're hovering right now. This is saying 8.5 feet. Let me give it a minute, see if we're going to get a GPS lock on this. Okay, I think we now have up. We had it steady for a minute. There are no error warnings on the screen whatsoever. Here, let me move this just a little bit forward. Okay, we have a good open field out here, and I'm not pushing limits. Again, we're on turtle mode. Let me take her up just a few more feet. Okay, going up nice and gentle. Again, turtle mode is as advertised. It's slow. Okay, so let's do left stick, pause, center, and right stick. I'm holding the right stick, centered. Okay, the lights are a little confusing me. I thought that was supposed to be steady. Okay, let's move out a little bit forward. Okay, let's do a rotate. Okay, this is at full speed. Now I'm all full stick. And now, granted, this is very slow, but this is turtle mode. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on record mode. So let me get her back straight. And let's do this again. Here, we'll go on. Let me turn on record mode. And I see the countdown clock. Okay. I know one thing on my Phantom 2 Vision Plus, that one would automatically go in record mode. I don't know if that's a setting in there. That way you never forgot to do it. And remember, when you land, or right as you're landing, I'd say right after you, don't forget to turn your video recorder off. If not, you have to go through the cycle again, turn it on and off, to save the recording, because the recording does not process to the SD card until it's been turned off. You know, we're getting a good hover. With the sunlight, I really can't see the rear light from here, and we are only, it says 90 feet away. I don't think that's correct, but we're about 15 feet off the ground. So let's do this. Let's bring her down. Let's bring her back here. We're going to land pretty much, and I'm not using any return to home features or anything like that yet. Let's go on and bring her down. Okay. Okay, and again, I know this bird is known to have a little ground effect, so take it easy. This is not an auto landing. You know, we're still getting that flashing purple. Okay, that's the ground effect doing it. That's not me. I have the stick all the way down. Okay, she's down. And good, landed safe. Even with the ground effect, everything was good. Okay, let's turn it up to rabbit mode now. Well, here, I'll tell you we're going to do this. Since we weren't recording the first time, let's give a full liftoff, full throttle in turtle mode in 3, 2, 1. Throttle's all the way up there. We're waiting. Okay, this is full in turtle mode. It's all the way. Here, we'll just let it go up to around here. Okay. Let me move over. Let's see if that is in the frame. I'm not sure if it is. I sure hope it is. Now, granted, I know it's going to be a little speck there. Okay, but this way, when we play the video back, you'll have an idea. Now, let's land her again. Now, I'm in the habit of when I land, I like to come in at angles to try to reduce the chance of a vortex state. Okay, so we're down. Okay, oops, I'm just going to take my time landing. Again, we're not news gathering. I'm not trying to get on 11 p.m. news right now. You know, by meaning I'm trying to rush my footage in. Okay, this is all the way down. Notice the bounce. Okay, I'm now going to switch over to rabbit mode. That is this switch over here. It is like a dial. I don't know if you can see it. I say that a lot, but you know, I'm not in a studio with lighting. We are just outside, lighting by Mother Nature. Okay, we are in angle mode. We are in rabbit mode. Liftoff in 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Okay, a little bit more sprightly. It is much slower than the Phantoms I see, but I'll be honest with you. Oh, look at that. That thing is kind of taking off on me. It's in a hover. You notice in the rabbit mode, it kind of stayed in a hover. That one kind of veered left on me. And let me bring her down just a bit. I want to make sure the camera can see this. Okay. You know, and I want to get over here and make sure that this GoPro's recording in video, not time lapse. So let me, since I'm going to look down for a moment, let me get over in a safe area. I believe we are recording video. Okay. So let's come over here. Let's get over here where the GoPro can see this at least. I know that's an ultra wide angle. Okay. Okay, now this is hovering pretty steady right now, but you notice when I first went up, it took a little bit to the left. Satellite count, 19 on the left, 10 on the right. Okay, let's go up and do a little flying here. Let's go up. Now, I will tell you, first impressions and somebody who's only flown Phantoms, this is slower. I'm not even looking at the image now. I am checking the stats. Somebody please tell me what these darn beeps mean. Put your comments below. Okay, let's go and just make a little kind of turn here. Little forward stick. Bring her back around. Okay, we'll try a little figure 8 action here. You know, I'd say, I mean, first of all, this thing is definitely not a sports car. And we have some trees over there. Since I don't know this copter, I don't want to get too close here. This is not what you'd call agile. I think that, again, first impression is that this could be a good photography tool. We'll know when we see the video. Here, speaking of that, let's kind of do a sweeper shot over here. I'll bring over here. We'll kind of get a side sweep of the trees. Okay, and by the way, the camera, stock settings. I'm not in pro mode here. You know, remember, this is a new copter. I just want to get to know her at this point. We'll bring her down. Let me tilt the camera up just a little bit. Okay, by the way, camera tilt, 1, 2, 3, all the way down. Okay, that's all the way down. Okay, probably a little delay, but you know, from that distance I can't tell. But now we'll look at it on the video. Camera's all the way down. In one motion, I'm going to put the camera all the way up in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, let's see if there is any lag. Now on the monitor there is a lag. Now I am locked into a straight shot. Now, you know, this is one of those with this camera, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Let me just try to frame a nice shot here. And we'll just kind of sweep over here, sweep to the left. This is wide because I feel I'm all the way off and it's still in frame. But then again, it's a delay. So let me give it a minute to catch up. Okay. Now let's just do a nice smooth sweeper here. And again, I'm in rabbit mode. I'm about maybe half stick over, maybe a little bit more. Let's see how smooth this is. And again, default settings on the camera. Okay. Now let's try something here. Let's go over to smart mode. Now, our distance right now is 110, so we are well within the smart mode area. Now, let's go ahead and change the orientation where the copter is now pointed at me. Hello? Hi, copter. Okay, see, I go forward, backward. But if you're new to flying, this would confuse you. because if you go right on the stick, you expect to go right. It doesn't, it goes left. That's what smart mode does. It's very similar to DJI's IOC. That's called a home lock mode. Flip into smart mode, and see what happens here. Now, when I pull the stick toward me, the copter comes toward me. Go away, it goes away. Go to the right, it goes right. Go to the left, it goes left. Okay, now notice a little drift when it holds. Maybe that's just the smoothness of it. Okay, let's go in and rotate. So we're in smart mode, I'm rotating. Well, no, I'm rotating to the right and it's going to the right. It's doing the correct thing. It's not doing that backwards. Okay, that was my left stick. Just go to the right and I'll bring her down just a little bit. Here, let's. Okay. Now, I know in smart mode that there's a bubble of like 24 feet and I understand what can happen. It can misbehave. So let's go into angle mode. We are in angle mode. I'm not doing any follow me, watch me's, anything like that. There's plenty of time. Let's see, let me get behind the camera here. See if we can get a good UHD shot here. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and try to play cameraman and copter operator. I have a friend coming by who's a legendary copter pilot, but we can do that later. Okay, we're getting pretty close. We are just a few feet away. It's a little bit too close for comfort here, but let me pull out just a little bit. See what we'll do. I will play cameraman. But you notice how the light's doing here? Get in the frame. Let me zoom in a bit. Oops. Hope I didn't lose focus on that. Okay. Whoa. Boy, that was weird. Did you see that? That was in angle mode, and the bird kind of just took off on a mind of its own. That's why always know your orientation. Maybe I was just too close to the controller on that. But it did react when I gave it the right control, and I was ready to duck there, guys. Okay, let's try that again. Let's just be good. We are confirmed in angle mode. Okay, before we do this, let's do a battery check. There's no warnings. I have about half the battery left here. We've been flying quite a bit. It might be time to do a battery check. Possibly that erratic behavior was telling me something. I have not gotten any battery warnings whatsoever. Okay, now. Again, it's hard to see. Here we go. You're right in the middle. Okay, so let's go in and take her up. Let's land. This time, let's land in smart mode. Put it in smart mode. Give her a minute to sink in. Let's bring her in. Okay, I'm just letting her land in smart mode. No oops, nope, that was me. I don't like where she's going. I just want to get her out of the tall grass. Bring her back just a little bit. Oh, that was almost user error. Okay, we got that. We are now going to hit the kill button. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's the first flight, first battery. Let's see how we ended up here. It's showing 11.1 volts. About 50% battery. Now notice when I was flying, that number was a little bit lower. GPS 17 on the left and on the right, we have 10, so we're doing pretty good here. The controller battery, it doesn't give you a percentage, about 75 to 80%. That's it for the first flight. You know, this isn't a lesson. I am not a certified Yuneec instructor. I'm just a pilot. Been flying for 2 years. When I say pilot, a copter pilot. I have no desire to fly an airplane. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Take a minute, post some comments, and please try to answer the question. What do these darn beeps mean? These things beeping all over the place. And maybe it's me and I missed it in the manual, but I'd love to find out. For videosbyandy.com, I'm the Gadget Guru Andy Parr, and I'll see you in the air and online.